Hi students, how are you all? I believe you are all keeping well. So stay at home and be safe. Well students, previously we have done with Unit 3 Reading A, which is titled as The Journey. And in today's session we are going to begin with Reading B, which is titled as Once Upon a Time, which is written by Gabriel Okara, who is an African poet. Okay? Well, students, before we get into the poem, let's get to know a little bit about the poet. So, Once Upon a Time poem was written by Gabriel Okara. He is an African poet. He was born in 1921 in Nigeria. He was educated at Government College. His parents were not rich. He worked as a bookbinder and later as an information officer at Enugu. He also wrote plays and features for broadcasting and became a poet of outstanding ability. His poems appear regularly in Black Orpheus. He has also written a novel called Voice. The poem Once Upon a Time is written by Gabriel Okara, a Nigerian poet. It is written in the backdrop of Nigeria's independence from Britain. The poet seems to be shocked by the change of lifestyle, values, morals, and the total change in the worldview in the new independent country. He seems to be mourning for the passing away of a way of life. Though the country is politically independent, it seems to be still influenced by the British culture. The poet remembers the way people used to behave and interact with each other, how the people used to do things with their hearts and soul. The poem Once Upon a Time describes what happens when a traditional African culture and civilization meets with the Western culture. With his nostalgic vision, the poet recalls the golden times of the past. The purpose of the poem is to outline the behavior and personality of the people at the moment. It also makes an attempt to bring back the personality of the people who used to do things with emotion and heart. The poem is a conversation between a father and his son. The son does things with emotions and father wants to forget his fake personality and relearn and recreate his personality by following the values of the past. He asks his son to express true love and to have real concern for others. Gabriel Okara's Once Upon a Time is about the artificial relationships and manners prevailing in the present world. According to the poet, past is better than present because there was love, sincerity, and faithfulness in the past. Now, in the present, everything has changed, hence, the poet wants to relive the past. Once upon a time, the people used to laugh with their hearts and eyes. That is, there was a genuineness in what they said and did. But in the present, there is only outward teeth laugh without understanding the speaker's real self. The eyes are described as eyes block cold. Eyes block cold. The people have become money minded and they develop their relationships only with the rich. Even when shaking hands with others, they are very artificial and mechanical. Guests are no longer welcome these days. They are given a warm reception only once. If they visit their friends or relatives thrice or more number of days, the doors are shut on them. In this materialistic and artificial world, the poet has learned many things, especially wearing many faces like putting on many dresses. One has to have home face, office face, cocktail face, and so on. All are fixed just like the portrait smile. As this is the way of the world, the poet or the speaker has also learned laughter with the teeth, the art of saying goodbye when he means good riddance. Glad to meet you when he is not glad, and nice to talk to you when bored. The poet wants to his son to imbibe the exemplary values of the past. Towards the end of the poem, the poet appeals to his son to show him how to smile wholeheartedly. His desire to revisit the past is nothing but a yearning for the innocence, faithfulness, and serenity. So, well, students, this is the analysis of the poem Once Upon a Time, which is written by Gabriel Okara, an African poet. Okay, I believe we have understood, right? Now, let's get into the textual part of our poem. Okay. Once upon a time, son, they used to laugh with their hearts and laugh with their eyes. But now they only laugh with their teeth while their eyes block cold eyes search behind my shadow. So, well, students, the first line we have once upon a time suggests that this poem is going to be based on a story, or is a kind of story or fairy tale. Okay, now the speaker is addressing his son. So this could well be father beginning to explain how things used to be, how people they used to laugh with their hearts and eyes, okay, back in the past. How they used to laugh, how they used to smile with their hearts and with their eyes during those times of father. But now what is happening? They only laugh with their teeth. They only laugh with their teeth. So nowadays, laughter is more of a show of teeth, okay, and the eyes are cold and looking for something other than the real person. Now, what is meant by eyes block cold? Eyes block cold. Now, what does it mean? It means without any emotions and feelings. It means without any emotions and feelings. Okay? Simple, students, the poet criticizes his society. He uses the word once upon a time or the phrase once upon a time to intensify the death of good ideals that were being practiced by the people, but now everything has disappeared. Okay? Now, what is meant by search behind my shadow? What is meant by search behind my shadow? It's accepting shadows rather than accepting the real self. Okay, accepting the shadow rather than accepting the real self. Okay, so because by accepting and loving shadows, they won't be in trouble, right? So people accept shadows rather than the real self of the people, because shadows are harmless. It's clear? There was a time indeed they used to shake hands with their hearts. But that's gone, son. Now they shake hands without hearts while their left hands search my empty pockets. So the art of shaking hands has changed. Okay, the art of shaking hands has also changed. In the past, a greeting was a genuine. Okay, greeting was very genuine. A person welcomed for who they were. Okay, a person welcomed for who they were. But nowadays, people shake hands with one eye on our status, okay, or financial status. Okay, people are no longer genuinely warm towards others. People are on the make, wanting to get something from you. That's what we see. Now they shake hands without hearts. Okay, while their left hands search my empty pockets. Okay, trying to, you know, they want something from you. Okay, they want something from you. Clear? Feel at home, come again, they say, and when I come again and feel at home once, twice, and there will be no thrice, for then I find doors shut on me. It's clear, right? People invite you. People invite you around to their homes. Okay, making out as if you are important to them. But if you don't, measure up socially, or your status isn't quite right, you are not invited again. Maybe you are invited once, twice, but thrice, the third time when you go, already the doors are shut. Okay, so they say feel at home, but the doors are shut. Okay, so I have learned many things, son. I have learned to wear many faces like dresses: home face, office face, street face, host face, cocktail face, with all their confirming smiles, like a fixed portrait smile. So, students, the first three stanzas outline the speaker's perception of changing culture and attitudes and values in his country. He perceives that the things have changed a lot. Now, in this stanza, we see how the speaker himself had to change and learn in order to comply. Okay, so he uses comparisons. He says that he also has to wear faces like dresses. How we remove, how we change dresses. Okay, how we change our dresses. Like he says that he has to wear faces, like when he is at home, home face; when he is in the office, at office, office face. Okay, in the street, street face. So he says that he had to change and learn in order to comply himself, and get adjusted according to the situation by having different phases. Okay, like a portrait smile. Now when you see a portrait, you know what is portrait? It is a picture, right? If you see the emotion of a particular portrait, it is the same. Okay, like a fixed smile, like a fixed smile. The poet says that when he is at home, he has a home face; when he is at office, he has office face. Okay, clear? And I have learned too to laugh with only my teeth and shake hands without my heart. I have also learned to say goodbye when I mean good riddance, to say glad to meet you without being glad, and to say it's been nice talking to you after being bored. So the poet says that, as he perceives the changes that took place in the society, he also says that, he has become adept at the heartless handshake and a hollow, toothy smile. Plus, he knows how to deceive people with his farewells and welcomes and false politeness. Okay, it's a simple. As the poet perceives the changes which are, not genuine. Okay, when he perceives these changes, he also adapts those in his life. He says he also learned to smile or laugh with only teeth. He laughs only with teeth, and he also shakes hands only without heart. Okay, without heart he shakes hands, and he says goodbye when he means good riddance. Now what is meant by good riddance? Good riddance is, it's a feeling of relief when someone, or when an unimportant person leaves. Okay, it's a feeling of sigh. Okay, relief. Thank God the person left. So the poet says that he learned to say goodbye when he means to say good riddance. In the heart of heart, he feels thank God that person went, but apparently he doesn't show. Okay, and he also says that he learned to say glad to meet you when he is not glad, when he is not at all happy to meet. Okay, and he also says nice talking to you after being bored. Even though he was bored, but he is able to say that he was glad to talk. Okay, do you understand now? These feelings are actually not genuine. These were not there in his days in the past. Clear? But believe me, son, I want to be what I used to be when I was like you. I want to unlearn all these muting things. Most of all, I want to relearn how to laugh, for my laugh in the mirror shows only my teeth like a snake's bare fangs. Now, what is meant by muting? Muting is changing all the time or expressionless or not expressed in speech. Okay, now what is meant by fangs? Fangs are long sharp teeth of some animals like snakes and dogs. Okay, now the poet says to his son, I already said it is a conversation between father and son. So the father says to his son, son, believe me that I want to be what I used to be. The poet wishes to be how he was like when his son is now. Okay, his son is small, right? So the poet says that okay, he wants to be as he was at the age of his son. Okay, fine. Now I want to unlearn all these muting things. Okay, unlearn. Okay, now what he had learned? He has learned how to smile without hearts, shake hands without hearts, right? So he says that he wants to unlearn all these things which are not genuine. He wants to be genuine, he wants to be sincere, he wants to be faithful, right? So the poet says that he wanted to unlearn all these muting things, changes, okay, all these changes that have taken place in his life. What are those changes? He started to love with his or without his heart, without his eyes. Okay, he shakes hands without heart, right? So he says that he wants to unlearn all these things. Most of all, I want to relearn how to laugh, for my laugh in the mirror shows only my teeth like a snake's bare fangs. Okay, so another important thing, the poet says that he wants to relearn, he wants to learn again how to laugh wholeheartedly, because when he sees his laugh in the mirror, he sees only like his teeth as fangs in the mirror, okay, like snakes teeth in the mirror. Okay, so he says that he wants to relearn how to laugh. Okay, so show me, son, how to laugh. Show me how I used to laugh and smile once upon a time when I was like you. Okay, the poet comes clean. He wants the son to show him how to regain this lost innocence. What does it mean here, lost innocence? They used to laugh with their hearts. Okay, they accept each other with the real self, not shadows. Okay, so he says he wants a son to show him how to regain this lost innocence, how to laugh and smile like the old days when he was young and carefree. And the culture encourage openness and honesty, a pure identity. Okay, so once upon a time he used to be like that. So the poet wants to get back to his old self, okay, old way of life and not the present life. Okay, so well students, we find themes in this poem like how society changes, cultural shift, capitalism and values. Okay, and the tone is ironic. Perhaps the speaker knows deep inside that he will never regain that purity. He won't be able to turn back time and relive life as a transformed person. That's why the title could be From a Fairy Tale. The speaker's wishes are a fantasy. He knows it's only going to be fantasy to have a change of society, because already the society has changed, a cultural shift has changed, and capitalism and values have been changed. Clear? Well, students, let's have the summary of the poem Once Upon a Time. Okay, so the poem Once Upon a Time is written by Gabriel O'Hara, an African poet. Okay, so Once Upon a Time is a free words poem that focuses on father's attitude to cultural change and time past before the incoming Western culture affected the native African way of life. Well, students, I believe you have understood today's session. Once again, please just go through the summary of the poem. You'll understand much better. Okay? So, see you in the next session. Till then, take care. Bye.